You're in a business meeting, job interview, or just trying to chat someone up at a party, but you just can't think of what to say. You feel awkward, maybe even a bit embarrassed, and you just want the ground to swallow you up. So why is small talk so difficult for some people and not for others? And how can you become one of the latter? Here are 6 things that diplomats do to never run out of things to say. Number 1. They ask open-ended questions. One of the most important things to remember about conversation is that it's not just about you. Sure, you may have all these amazing stories to tell and achievements to brag about, but nobody wants to hear them unless they're asked for. How many times have you been stuck in a conversation with someone who just talks about themselves non-stop without asking anything about you or showing any interest in what you have to say? It's not pleasant, is it? Don't be that person. Instead, focus on your conversational partner. Ask them questions about their interests, opinions, experiences, and really listen to their answers. Open-ended questions are great for keeping the conversation going because they require more than a simple yes or no answer. When you ask an open-ended question, the other person has to actually engage their brain and formulate an answer, which takes time. This gives you something to respond to and allows the conversation to continue organically. A few examples of good open-ended questions are, what did you enjoy doing as a child? If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go? And what are you most grateful for in your life? Asking thoughtful questions not only keeps the conversation flowing, but also demonstrates your interest in the other person. It shows that you're paying attention and that you care about their thoughts and feelings. Plus, people love to talk about themselves. It makes them feel important and valued. So, by asking open-ended questions, you're helping them shine, and that's a great way to keep a conversation going. Number 2. They make it relevant. Have you ever been in a conversation where the other person just kept talking about topics you knew nothing about? Maybe they were discussing the latest trends in fashion or the newest technology, and you just couldn't relate. Or perhaps they were talking about a hobby you knew nothing about, and you felt lost. This can happen for a variety of reasons. Maybe they're passionate about a certain topic and don't realize that you're not interested, or maybe they're just not very good at reading social cues. Whatever the reason, this type of conversation can be frustrating and even exhausting. You have to pretend to listen and engage when in reality you're completely checked out. But there is a way to avoid this type of conversation, and it's by making the conversation relevant to both parties. This means bringing up topics that you know both you and the other person will be interested in, or finding ways to connect the conversation to shared experiences or values. For example, if the other person brings up a topic that you know little about, try steering the conversation in a direction that you're more familiar with. If they're talking about the latest fashion trend and you know nothing about it, try asking questions that lead the conversation towards something you're more knowledgeable about. You could say something like, "That sounds interesting. What inspired you to try it?" Then, when the conversation naturally drifts to your area of expertise, you can share your thoughts and opinions. By doing this, you're able to show the other person that you're listening and engaged, while also ensuring that the conversation is enjoyable for both of you. Number 3. They use the STAR method. Have you ever had a job interview where you were asked to describe a time when you faced a challenge at work? Maybe you were so nervous that you couldn't remember any specific situation. In those moments, it's helpful to have a framework that can guide you through answering behavioral interview questions. That's where the STAR method comes in. The STAR method is a storytelling technique that can help you structure your answers to behavioral interview questions. Behavioral interview questions are those that start with, "Tell me about a time when," or "Can you give an example of?" They're designed to assess your past behavior as a predictor of future performance. With the STAR method, you'll be able to recall specific examples of your skills and experience that demonstrate why you're the best candidate for the job. The STAR method stands for situation, task, action, and result. Each of these letters represents a step in the storytelling process. First, you'll need to describe the situation or task you were faced with. Then, you'll need to explain the action you took to address it. Finally, you'll share the results of your actions. So next time you're faced with a behavioral interview question, remember to use the STAR method to help you provide a detailed, specific, and memorable answer. Number 4. They don't overshare. Oversharing can occur when we get overly emotional or reveal too much personal information during a conversation. It can make the other person uncomfortable and can even damage your relationships. We all have different boundaries when it comes to sharing personal information, and it's important to be aware of the other person's comfort level. If you're feeling nervous or anxious, it's important to take a moment to pause and collect yourself before speaking. Take a deep breath. Listen to the other person and respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. Remember, the goal of conversation is to connect with others and build relationships. By avoiding oversharing, you can keep the conversation focused on building connections rather than causing discomfort. Number 5. They use the rule of 3. The rule of 3 is a storytelling technique that can help you keep your conversations interesting and engaging. It states that people are more likely to remember and engage with ideas that come in threes. To use the rule of 3 in conversation, simply group items in threes when you're telling a story or making a point. For example, when describing a challenging situation you faced, talk about 3 specific obstacles you encountered. Or when sharing an exciting experience, mention 3 key highlights. The rule of 3 can also be applied to humor. Telling 3 short jokes in a row is more likely to get a laugh than telling one long, drawn-out joke. Just be sure to keep it lighthearted and appropriate for the situation. Overall, the rule of 3 is a versatile tool that can be used in various conversational situations. By grouping items in threes, you can make your stories more memorable, engaging, and humorous, keeping the conversation flowing and leaving a lasting impression on your conversational partner. Number 6. They use the L.O.V.E. formula. Have you ever found yourself lost for words when trying to express your thoughts or feelings? The L.O.V.E. formula provides a clear and concise way to communicate your message effectively. The L.O.V.E. formula stands for lay the foundation, offer evidence, validate feelings, and express your opinion. Using this formula allows you to express your thoughts and feelings in a respectful and considerate manner. When faced with a situation where you need to communicate your opinion, remember to lay the foundation, offer evidence, validate feelings, and express your opinion. This formula is a powerful tool for anyone looking to improve their communication skills and fostered by following the L.O.V.E. formula, you'll be able to express yourself confidently and compassionately, leading to more meaningful conversations and stronger relationships. If you enjoyed this video, watch this next video for more tips on being a great conversationalist.